bail out, bail out! Isn't pulling out when you try to save the plane and bailing out's when you abandon it to go down in flames? Eject, eject, eject! Hey, where's my golden parachute? I have friends on both sides of the political fence that rage about how the other side is all to blame for our current economic problems. But is it those greedy Republicans and their evil corporate masters? Or was it the loopy legislative-loving left-wing Democrats forcing financial institutions to take on risky subprime assets? Yes. They really are both to blame. And so are you, and me, and everybody else, because we don't seem to care what they do. We're not going to go into too much detail here because that would require going all the way back to the Carter administration. But regardless of what the government and big business has or hasn't done to cause the problem, now they're really ready to take action. Swift, decisive action. And there is no disaster that immediate, decisive, wrong action cannot make worse. So here we are watching our government prepare to give out $800 billion and perhaps trillions more to follow to stimulate the economy. I'm stimulated! Because they figure throwing a bunch of money at the problem will make it go away. Just like the war on drugs, and the war on terror, and the war on poverty. Because we still got a little of that. All this money is supposed to prop up failing businesses in key sectors of the economy. Remember high school economics? There are really two approaches. There's neoclassical, which is giving money to businesses to stimulate the economy, and there's Keynesian, to give it to people and let them stimulate the economy. So why aren't they just sending you and me a huge stimulus check? Another stimulus check. Because they figure you'll just mismanage it. Or worse yet, save it. You dirty little saver. Haven't TV commercials taught you anything? Rampant consumerism is our way out of this mess. Although by strange contrast, it was also our way into this mess. That's a head scratcher. Clearly our government thinks it can help Wall Street manage that money better than you and me. The stock's off by 70%. But as CEO, I deserve a $10 million bonus. Thank you, Merrill Lynch, and all you other greedy executive monkeys. But even as the corporate bailout reaches new heights of ridiculousness, it seems strange to consider that there's an abundant lack of people getting in trouble. Where's the accountability? Where are the investigations and prosecutions for people in government and government programs like Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and the risk-loving elite of Wall Street? Shouldn't we be seeing the architects of this grand disaster sweating next to a microphone and a pitcher of water, straining to answer congressional legal inquiries on CNN? Yeah, that'd show them. Of course, we could take away their money, too. That would be a good idea. Maybe. But who would we give it to? So why is our government so keen to re-stimulate the economy and then leave it in the hands of the people who messed it up in the first place? Barack, I thought the new mantra was change, not here we go again. Fool me once, shame on you. You fool me, you can't get fooled again. You'll hear all sorts of shrill media voices crying out, don't question it, we need to act now because later may be too late. Because there's no disaster which immediate, decisive, wrong action can't make worse. Bailing out the industries that were affected by bad government decisions is one thing. I mean, banks may have been forced to take on awful, risky assets, and it's reasonable for government to make amends. But that's where it should end. This magically produced money is not being pulled out of thin air, it comes from you. Not only are you paying for the mistake, and the executive bonuses, but to add insult to injury, the bank's dirty laundry will be handed off to the taxpayers, so banks in the end will have a sparkling clean portfolio. Their stock will go through the roof, giving them more money and power than they've ever had before. Oh, and you get to pick up the tab. As for the American auto industry, you've been making outdated, inefficient pollution monstrosities for years. You've hung your hats on bigger is better, you've helped kill the electric car, stifle innovation, and provided us with your crowning achievement, the cup holder. I'm thinking it may be time for your industry to go through a few growing pains. But here you are, asking for a government handout, all in the name of saving jobs and saving the economy. Or are you? According to the Washington Post, this administration is likely to refrain from imposing tough restrictions on executive compensation at most firms receiving government aid, because harsh limits could discourage some firms from asking for aid. Wait, if we can't give this bailout money to our executives, then we don't want any. I'm gonna guess if they say that, they didn't really need it after all. And speaking of don't need it, do you know we're poised to bail out the rest of the world too? It's one of the little benefits of a global economy and competitive foreign trade treaties. The European Union is demanding, not asking, demanding that the US share some of its bailout money with them to keep things fair. I mean, hey, we signed a treaty saying we would. I'm not sure why. So wait, our banks overlend on risky mortgages and now we have to keep the European auto industry afloat? How did this happen? Things like this just happen. You know, like, what's something that never happens? But at least they said we could participate in their 40 billion euro payout plan, since we have to let them participate in our $800 billion bailout plan. Yeah, that sounds fair. I guess the important question is, if the government's just going to give away money, well then, where's my bailout? What? So I'm not getting any? Nothing? Apparently I haven't done anything irresponsible, damaging, expensive, risky, or stupid enough to deserve a bailout. One thing's for sure, if people and businesses can count on Big Brother to get them out of a jam, we are on our way downhill. It's like feeding the bears at Yellowstone. And you know how that ends. Sorry, Smokey. Do not feed the executives. They'll just keep coming back if you do.